Hi and welcome. About 6 years ago, when I got a little bit more serious about woodworking, I was in a two-car garage, which I shared with our vehicles. Back then, everything had to be kind of mobile, so I could move stuff around in order to get the cars in the garage when I wasn't doing any projects. So one of the first projects I did was this cart to house the pancake air compressor, as well as the 12-inch drill press. Now that I'm in a larger shop space, and I recently got this California Air quiet air compressor, I now want to update this cart to put more drawers and storage for all drill related items. So I'm going to move this drawer below and add smaller drawers and or cubbies to house as much drill related items as possible. So let's get to it. Here's a rough sketch which I created to help me along with the building of the storage in the existing drill press stand. For those following, the width is 19 3/8. The height, outside dimension, 32.5 inches. On the inside, because of 3/4 inch plywood, is 31 1/4. And with the casters, the height is 36. Inside dimension, because of the 3/4 inch plywood, is 17 7/8. So I've decided at the top that I'll just do like a miscellaneous drawer, which will be 4 inches on the outside, so about 3-inch depth drawer. Here, just going to do sort of like cubbies, something like I did with my router table. So I'll probably have pull-outs that for miscellaneous drill bits, like Forstner bits, hole saw bits, etc. And then possibly drawers, the same thing, just for miscellaneous drill bit stuff. I'll use the existing drawer and put it on the bottom, so that one's about 7 inches deep, so with a front 8 inches, and that leaves about 7-inch front for the next drawer, 6 inches. So I'll have two kind of deeper drawers, a bunch of little cubby drawers, and then a miscellaneous drawer at the top, which I'll probably do some partitions just for some organization. So that's the initial plan. Using some of my plywood scraps that are at least 3 inches, I'll start with the top drawer. I've cut all the pieces for the top drawer. As mentioned, it's 3 inches deep. I've drilled the pocket holes for the assembly, and I've put some dados to do some partitions with 1/4 inch plywood. Because of the depth of the drawer, I'm just going to attach the bottom panel on top and not do the usual groove. So I'll get that assembly done now. I've completed the top drawer. For assembly, I used pocket holes. For the bottom, I just glued and used brad nails and then beveled the edges. I have 3 coats of poly and the partitions installed. For the drawer slides, I just had a 1 1/4 inch piece of wood just as a guide to make sure they're both even. Soft closing works as it should. Next step in the design is to build the cubby partition. So I'll get to that next. I've cut all the pieces for the cubby partition in the drill press stand. I've made it all with 1/2 inch plywood. I've put dados for the cubby separations. So I have the top, the middle with dados on both sides, and the bottom. I don't know if you can notice in the camera, the middle is Baltic birch, which I had, and it's perfectly flat. The other pieces are from some birch plywood from Woodworker's Source, and you can see, look at how they've warped. But anyways, certainly way different than the Baltic birch. but it'll do the job and it's much cheaper. So we'll get that put together now. Here's the first section glued up of the partition. Only have 4 of these corner clamps, so I can only do one section at a time. So we'll let this dry and then I'll do the next one, and then the 2 sections could be put together. Here's the full glue up of the partition for the drill press. Just let the glue set and then I'll sand it a bit and then do 3 coats of poly. After applying the poly to the cubby section, I've dry fitted into the cabinet. For the middle shelf, I'm going to put some marks here so I can drill a pilot hole so I can be able to drill screws in with getting it into the plywood. On the bottoms and the top, I did do pocket holes so I can do those from there and there. So let me mark that and do some drilling, and then I'll install it permanently. With the cubby portion installed in the bottom drawer, I can do a better measurement for the middle drawer. Got just under 6 inches there, so I guess I'll do about a 5-inch drawer. Here's a cabinet with the last drawer installed. Now I'm going to work on the cubbies. First one will be Forstner bits. I went through my cutoff pile and just found a bunch of strips long enough and glued up some small panels for this next step. This I created for the Forstner bits, so I'll just have 2 levels. I was debating whether to drill holes and do like this or like this. I decided to go this way because I found that the shank size on Forstner bits, depending on the brand, are not all the same size. So then if I had to replace a certain size, it might not fit. So I'm going to do them this way and then label them. So I've made 2. One will be for the Imperial size, which I had this kit from Grizzly, which I purchased a long time ago. And then I'll dedicate this one to metric, which I don't have many of, but as I go, I can add to it. So the idea here is these will be like little cubby drawers. We'll have a front and a back, and it'll just slide in and it can be removed and get at them easy. Made 2 more panels. This will be just, it'll do the same kind of thing. They haven't been cut to size, but the same type of thing. I know the first 2 will be for hole saws. Then I'll decide about the other 2 after. So we'll get started with drilling the holes for the Forstner bits that I have. Here's the first 2 drawers for the cubbies. This one is for my Imperial set of Forstner bits. And this one, as I don't have too many metrics, just have 4 right now, so this has limited holes. These will go into these 2 slots, here and here. For the assembly of these, I'm using my Domino 500. So just have the dominoes going partially through here and then assembling them together. So that's what I did for that one. And I'll do the same for all the rest. For these 2, I've cut pieces 4, so that's going to go into here. I had these router bit storage foams, which I no longer need with my router table cabinet. So I only wanted the 1/4-inch holes, so I went and just cut it all into strips. These I'll glue onto the board, and I'll be able to put lots of different drill-related bits there. I'll see if I have enough for both or not. And then the last drawers, I think these will be probably just drawers, just to put stuff in. All the components for the cubby section are now completed. On this side, I'll be attaching these foam inserts to store drill-related bits. In the middle, there's 2 drawers. And as mentioned before, the storage for Forstner bits. Now the next step is to make the drawer fronts. I've completed all the drawer fronts. Now it's time to install them on the drawers. If you're interested in this recessed finger pull, I have another video. I'll add that to the description below. Start with some spacers on the bottom. And for this installation, I'm going to use these Rockler jigs to help with the installation. Center it on the drawer, clamp it into place. Pull the drawer out and then attach some of these cabinet screws. So there's the first front. Do the same on the second drawer. I'll do the top drawer next. Put the speakers at the top. For this one, I could only put the single bracket. Let's see how that works. Don't have any space there either. I just have to sort of eyeball it, I guess. I have to trim this one down. For these other drawers, it's just using hot glue as a temporary attachment. Just have to sort of eyeball it best I can. And that looks pretty good. I'll just do this last one now. So here's a drill press cart with all the drawer fronts installed. Note also that I added this maple edge banding to the top. I've started to put in my drill related items. These 6 drawers are removable. This completes this build. I think it'll be very useful to have a lot of the drill related items in one area. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already, and hope to see you again soon. Take care.